What up, Geekdom? This is Chipmunk. We're doing a review on Imaginary, the movie. I'm trying not to do any like spoilers, major spoilers and stuff about the movie. And just keep this as plain as I can. As y'all know, it's like Imaginary is a movie about a woman who brings her new family, a family of her boyfriend or husband's children, into her old home where there is a teddy bear that is found in the basement by the youngest daughter. She becomes friends with the teddy bear, and it's like this whole imaginary thing of the teddy bear being real and stuff like that, and talks to her and whatever, and gets her to do all these things as far as the list and stuff goes. Now the movie, I would say it wasn't the concept about the movie. I think is interesting. I don't think that they did it the best way as far as just how they went about it. The script of like lines and stuff to me were not all that great. Some things were it felt like they were trying to do a lot with little details, if that makes sense. Like you put in a lot of different things, but then you don't put in enough details to explain certain things. And that's what I kind of felt with the movie. Like, it wasn't a horrible horror movie. I think it was enjoyable to watch for one time or two, but it's a couple of things where it was like, they could have done some things way better. They did some things that it was like, I don't think that they needed to do a lot of, which they could have just made some things that would just been a little bit more simple. I think would have helped instead of trying to add more and more to it. But yeah, it was still a decent story. Again, as far as just I didn't like with it was the concept of the older daughter. You know how they mostly have the tropes of you're not my mom type of thing, so I don't like you. I don't have a lot of trust in you, stuff like that. That's one of the things that I didn't too much like with the movie. It's just because I was like, this played off a lot, and then to me it didn't make a lot of sense as far as the relationship that they're trying to show, like the bad relationship between each other, because it felt like they were new to each other the way that they went about it. That if they were actually new, this is their first time meeting and their first time like living together, I can understand that the older daughter and I'm gonna just call her stepmom. That to me that would have made more sense, but from what the story had, they were living together in the father's place for a while. And so I was like, I'm guessing she's been in their life. The stepmom's been in their life for a good while, because they've been living there. Now, if the mother, their actual biological mother, recently went ill, mentally ill or whatever, and then they just started living with the father and they had to find a bigger place, maybe that may be the case. But the way the film came off, it didn't seem like it. So it's like it may be details and stuff that I missed that they quickly went through. But yeah, like the biological mother, she's not there in their life. She was in a hospital or something like that and mentally not stable from what came off. So yeah, they've been living with the father. And yeah, to me, it felt like their relationship, the stepmom and the older daughter, it felt too new, even though it just seemed like they've been staying together for a bit. But again, it could have been they were staying with the mother beforehand. But yeah, it just didn't feel like that with the movie. Like, it's a whole bunch of stuff that I was like, it needed more details. And that's part of it. Like, I feel like that needed more details to actually understand the dynamics of the characters a lot more, because they were just trying to throw in so much. But yeah. But I was like, if they would have just made some stuff simple, they would have taken out a couple things. I think it would have worked a lot better. Even with the relationship between I'm going to just call it stepmom, the stepmom and her father. I think that they needed more details to certain information that we didn't get. Or I felt like we didn't get. When it came to relationships, what happened between them, and why she never seen him before, because it felt like that relationship was new. So it's like, if it's a whole bunch of stuff that it felt like is new, but didn't explain why. But yeah, it still was an interesting movie. It just wasn't all that great. It's not something I would put high on my list of horror films, especially for this year. I'm hoping that horror movies do a lot better this year, because I was like, man, So we still have like Immaculate coming out next, and the first Omen coming out after. So we'll see. We have other like films and stuff from Shudder and stuff like that. But as far as just like major ones in theaters, those are I think the next ones that comes out. But yeah, Imaginary was a pretty interesting. I like the fact of what they were trying to do or wanting to do. I think would have worked out better, but I felt like some of the locations and stuff that they were doing, as far as just like the imaginary world and stuff as well, didn't work out the best when it comes to looks and what you would think how an imaginary world would look as far as like a kid's eyes. But yeah, this is not. I'm gonna try not to dive into the spoiler of it as much on this one neither, but. There is a death scene in the movie, and the death scene to me was spot on of how I think would happen. But the fact that I'm just saying the entity that is offing off the person should have did the same thing to the older daughter, especially when the threat was there and they could have easily offed them. But I think it's always weird with these type of movies where it's like, oh, they have a chance to off the person, but for some reason they go for the scare more than they do the execution. But I was like, with the other person that they off, it was really, really quick. Like, they didn't try to scare them. They didn't try to they just grabbed and bam, like, it was over. But you didn't do the same thing to the older daughter. It was a whole, like, I'm going to scare you. I'm going to have to build up the scare and everything for you. We're not going to just jump and get you out like we did the other person. I always think that that's weird. But, yeah. But overall, decent movie. Just not that great. I think the rating of it on like Rotten Tomatoes isn't an exact match of what I would think of it. I would have thought it should be like at a 54% or maybe, or a 48, something like that percent. Because I was like, it wasn't a bad movie, but it wasn't great neither. But we still got a lot of other movies to check out, see. But that's a brief of my take on the movie, Imaginary. Trying not to do spoilers and stuff like that, but just how I felt about the movie. It was okay, but just not, the greatest thing ever. But I do say that people should watch it. If you like it, wonderful. If it's your type of movie, wonderful. Everyone's going to have their different opinions on art. So it may be like one of the best movies for you ever, and it may be like one of the worst movies ever for you, just how your taste and how you feel and what you're comfortable with. So, yeah. Let me know what y'all think about this review. Comments below. If you like this video, please put a like in the video. If you like, subscribe. See some more of my videos, please do. Thank you all so much for jumping on and giving me a try. I really do appreciate it. Please do take care of yourselves and each other. Peace, geekdom.